Hey everybody! Have you ever wondered what life would be like without the internet? Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your Wi-Fi is out. You might think it's just a temporary glitch. You check your phone, no bars. You start to feel a bit uneasy. You turn on the TV, nothing. No news, no shows, just static. You try your computer, still nothing. The screen remains blank and your heart starts to race. That's right, folks. The internet is gone. Poof, vanished. It's like a bad dream, but it's real. I know, right? No more posting adorable puppy videos. No more scrolling through endless memes. No more online shopping sprees at 3 a.m. Your favorite stores are now just empty shells. No more arguing with strangers about politics on Twitter. The endless debates have come to a halt. It's enough to make you want to pull your hair out. The frustration is palpable. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a chance to reconnect with the world outside our screens. Imagine the possibilities. So, what happens next? Do we all panic? Do we run around in circles, desperately trying to find a signal? Do we start a mass migration back to a simpler time? A time when life was slower and connections were more personal? Do we finally learn how to use those dusty old rotary phones in the attic? Maybe it's time to bring back some old school communication. Let's dive in and find out, shall we? Let's explore what life could be like without the internet. It might just surprise you. Imagine families coming together for game nights, rediscovering the joy of face-to-face interaction. Picture yourself getting lost in a good book, without the constant ping of notifications. Think about the deep conversations you could have with friends over a cup of coffee, without the distraction of screens. Envision community events where people come together to dance, sing, and enjoy live music. And don't forget the beauty of nature. The sound of birds chirping, the feel of a gentle breeze, all without the need for Wi-Fi. Maybe we'll even bring back the lost art of letter writing. There's something special about a handwritten note. Children might spend more time playing outside, using their imaginations and making new friends. We might find joy in simple activities like cooking a meal from scratch, savoring each step of the process. Or perhaps we'll take the time to stargaze, marveling at the wonders of the universe. We could even find peace in meditation, reconnecting with our inner selves. Volunteering might become more common as we seek to build stronger, more connected communities. Creativity could flourish, with more people taking up hobbies like painting, drawing, or crafting. Music could become more personal, with people playing instruments and singing around campfires. And journaling might help us process our thoughts and emotions in a deeper way. The day the internet died could be the start of a new beginning, a chance to rediscover the beauty of the offline world. So let's embrace the change and see where this new journey takes us. Who knows? We might just find that life without the internet is more fulfilling than we ever imagined. Let's be real, folks. The first 24 hours without the internet would be pure chaos. I'm talking mass confusion, widespread panic. Imagine waking up one morning reaching for your phone and realizing there's no connection. No Wi-Fi, no data, nothing. The world as we know it would come to a standstill. It would be like a scene straight out of a sci-fi movie. Picture this: advanced technology failing all at once, screens flickering, and automated systems going haywire. It would be a dystopian nightmare. Imagine millions of people glued to their phones, desperately trying to refresh their feeds. Social media addicts would be in a frenzy, unable to get their daily fix of likes and comments. The digital silence would be deafening. People would be running around like chickens with their heads cut off. The streets would be filled with frantic individuals, all searching for answers, trying to make sense of the sudden disconnect. Businesses would come to a screeching halt. Offices would be empty, computers turned off, and productivity plummeting. E-commerce would be non-existent, and the global economy would take a massive hit. No more online banking, no more video conferencing, no more instant communication with anyone outside of shouting distance. Financial transactions would be impossible, and people would struggle to connect with loved ones. I can just picture it now. Public spaces would be filled with bewildered individuals, all staring at their blank screens, unable to comprehend the sudden loss of connectivity. People would be lining up outside Apple stores, begging for answers. Tech retailers would be overwhelmed with desperate customers, all seeking a solution to the internet blackout. News crews would be scrambling for updates. Journalists would be on the streets reporting live about the unprecedented event, trying to provide the public with any information they could gather. Social media influencers would be having a collective meltdown. Their entire world revolves around being online, And without the internet, they would be lost, unable to reach their followers. It would be wild, people. Wild. The emotional reactions would be intense, with people experiencing everything from frustration to outright panic. The disappearance of the internet would be a wake-up call, showing just how dependent we've become on this invisible network that connects us all. Remember the days before smartphones when we actually had to talk to each other? Yeah, those were the days. Without the internet, we'd be thrown back into the dark ages of communication. Forget texting, emailing, and DMing. If you wanted to talk to someone, you'd have to do it the old-fashioned way, face-to-face or through the good old-fashioned telephone. Can you imagine that? Actually having to dial a number and speak to a real, live human being? It might be a shock to the system at first, but hey, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. We might even start to remember what it's like to have actual conversations again. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, people, the economy. It's no secret that our financial systems are incredibly fragile, and recent events have only highlighted just how vulnerable we are. The internet is the backbone of our global economy. Without it, things would get messy, fast. Imagine a world where online transactions come to a screeching halt. Businesses that rely on e-commerce would be hit the hardest. These companies depend on a seamless digital infrastructure to process orders, manage inventory, and communicate with customers. Online retailers would be dead in the water. They would face insurmountable challenges, from processing payments to fulfilling orders. Global supply chains would be thrown into disarray. The intricate network of suppliers, manufacturers, and distributors would grind to a halt, causing delays and shortages. Financial markets would be in freefall. Investors would panic, leading to a massive sell-off of stocks and other assets. It would be an economic earthquake. The ripple effects would be felt across the globe, affecting every industry and market. Business analyst, and don't even get me started on the stock market. The chaos would be unprecedented, with traders scrambling to make sense of the rapidly changing landscape. I can just see it now. Wall Street traders running around like headless chickens, pulling their hair out and screaming, "Sell, sell, sell." The sheer panic would be palpable, as everyone tries to minimize their losses. It would be a sight to behold, that's for sure. The aftermath would be long-lasting, with recovery taking years, if not decades. The economic landscape would be forever changed, and we would have to adapt to a new normal.
So the internet is gone. What happens to education? No more online classes, no more Google searches to answer all our questions, and definitely no more Wikipedia rabbit holes. Students and teachers would have to go back to basics. Remember libraries, folks? Those big dusty buildings filled with actual books? They'd be making a comeback, that's for sure. And instead of staring at screens all day, kids might actually have to, talk to each other and play outside. Shocking, I know. But hey, maybe a little fresh air and face-to-face interaction would do them some good.
Now for the really important stuff. What would we do for fun without the internet? No more binge-watching our favorite shows, no more scrolling through social media, and definitely no more online gaming marathons. It would be a whole new world of entertainment, or rather, a return to a much older one. Remember board games, books, actually going outside and enjoying the great outdoors? We might actually have to start using our imaginations again, folks. Remember imagination? That magical thing we had as kids before the internet took over our lives? Yeah, that. Here's a question for you. Without the internet constantly connecting us, would we become more sociable, or would we retreat into ourselves?
On the one hand, we might actually start talking to our neighbors again. Remember neighbors? Those people who live in those houses next to ours? We might even start having real-life conversations with real-life people.
But on the other hand, without those virtual connections, some people might feel more isolated and alone. It's a double-edged sword, folks. So, what would the long-term effects of a world without the internet be? Would we revert back to the Stone Age, or would we find a way to adapt and thrive? Some people believe that without the internet, we'd be forced to slow down, to appreciate the simpler things in life, to reconnect with our communities and with nature. Others believe that without the internet, our technological progress would grind to a halt. We'd lose access to a wealth of information and knowledge. Innovation would suffer. The truth is, no one knows for sure what would happen. It's a giant social experiment, and we're all just along for the ride. But here's the thing about humans. We're incredibly adaptable. When faced with a challenge, we find a way to overcome it. Remember the postal service, the telegram, the fax machine? We might not have the internet, but we'd still have our ingenuity, our creativity, and our determination to connect with each other. Who knows what kind of new technologies we might invent to fill the void? Maybe we'd finally invent those flying cars we were promised, or teleportation devices. Or maybe, just maybe, we'd finally learn to be content with what we have right here, right now. Okay, let's be real for a second. As much as I love a good digital detox, a world without the internet would be a very different place. No more hilarious cat videos, no more instant access to information, no more connecting with people from all over the world. It's almost too much to bear, but maybe, just maybe, it would be the wake-up call we need to appreciate all the good things the internet brings into our lives. So there you have it, folks. The internet, we love it, we hate it, we can't live without it. Or can we? Maybe this little thought experiment has taught us that life without the internet wouldn't be the end of the world. Maybe it would even be a chance for a fresh start. So the next time you're feeling overwhelmed by the online world, take a deep breath, put down your phone, and step away from the screen. You might be surprised at what you find.